Leap Pod Greater.
All right, we back.
Yo.
We back. If
should
y'all
be a
are there, we're
solve.
good. We got a bunch of actually people in there. Latonia. Oh, Miss Jones is there. Okay. All right. So if y'all are hearing us right now, we do apologize. We have some technical difficulties. I promise you, we say this every episode. We will have this fixed by next episode. We will figure it out, and because we just love having this live platform and having y'all here. But we'll get it fixed. It's just how life works, I guess. So one of the things that we wanted to talk. So we're gonna do something real quick that we're gonna actually skip. Steve's put on today, and we're gonna just jump right into the mix. So hold on real quick. Let's just get right into the mix, guys. What we're going to talk about today is just have a discussion around. So basically, one of the things that Mike and I were talking about over the week is how people have gone away from working in corporate America and basically have gone into like the self-made industries,
Like drug dealing?
like drug dealing. No, like so you say that like as a joke, we're joking right now,
I'm not
but
joking,
like,
I'm serious.
but absolutely. But like just in general, I think it was 1.8 million people. So in 2020, so right April 2020, 1.8 million people actually left their jobs to go do things on their own. And if you look at that time frame, that was literally right after COVID. It's not getting laid off. There's just people saying, hey, you know what? I don't want to work in corporate in America. I'm done with this shit. I'm done. I'm out of this. I'm going to go do my own thing. And they did a survey. I think it was Mercer University or college did a survey of 1 in 4 Americans say even after COVID, they're gonna quit their jobs, go do something on their own. So there's just this massive exodus of people saying fuck it to their corporate jobs and basically going into their own thing, entrepreneurs or basically us. Like at the end of the day, would you not agree that that's
probably more lucrative, and depending on what you do.
You think it's more lucrative?
Some of it, I say it could be.
Yeah. Okay.
And depending on what you do, like which isn't really legal, it's tax-free money.
Yeah.
For example, I got a homie, right? She had she quit, she sell ass. You know, and the problem is the price of ass.
She sells ass.
She sell ass.
She's a prostitute?
Basically. And but the thing is, money.
So many questions.
But the thing is, money don't really flow in like it used to because now you have to wear 2 protections. Like she requires you to wear a mask and a condom.
And a condom.
So it's kind of.
So she got double cost.
So it's just kind of hard. Like maybe customers not ringing in like they used to, or like they could be. But either way, you know what I'm saying. She getting the rent paid, so I salute to her. You know what I'm saying. Her lights stay on. She keeps food in her fridge. Salute to her ass selling abilities. Not everybody can sell ass.
Why do you think that people? So I'm trying to keep this high level and not getting down into the muck with Steve Cash here real quick. But why do you think, like you said, it's more lucrative? But like, why not just like to me personally, my corporate job kind of saved my life, and not just during COVID. Like I had a corporation that afforded me good insurance. Opportunities to move up, like it was secure. There's no having to worry about tomorrow. I literally have my money hit every other week since I was age 21 years old.
No, I understand. I agree with you. Same for me, but I said it could be. I didn't say it is more lucrative. It could be depending on what it is you're doing.
Here we go. For last week, they're gonna start saying
no,
you
could
all.
Be. Yeah, no,
I'm not saying all.
I'm saying like.
Yeah, right. I said it could be, right?
It could be
depending on what it is you're doing.
If you're selling ass, that's pretty much gonna sell. That's you know.
Not your ass.
How you know? My ass is a commodity.
We talked about this last week. How much would you pay for Mike's ass? Like for real?
You guys aren't gay, but I'm hot in these streets. What you talking about?
We talked about this again, Mike. Like you
I'm
said,
hot in these streets.
There's gays in Bears, and then there's gays in Shamu, and I'm just telling you, there's no high commodity for Shamu niggas out there.
I promise you, I'm hot out here.
You actually wore black and white today too, which is hilarious.
It's blue,
it matches his
beard.
Blue.
It's blue, but I appreciate that, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm hot in these streets, and the clout market is low, but where the market matters is, you know.
One of the things
you can't kill it well already.
So one of the things that I actually do want to bring on our guest, she's Miss Tanya Jones. So I'll give y'all a preface real quick before I bring her on. Miss Tanya Jones is actually from South St. Pete, Pinellas County, my old county that I grew up in, and she is a self-made woman. She's an entrepreneur. She basically, and get this, y'all, she's not a real estate agent. So when she was actually on Big Worm Short, I let her introduce herself. She'll do it, but I just want to let y'all, like, I want to tee it up for her because at the end of the day, I was just in awe of her. And one thing that she actually brought up was the fact that we don't have a lot of people doing the trades right now. And we can just have a discussion around that, but I'm gonna bring her on real quick because she's sitting there very patiently right now. We're gonna bring her in. Hey, there you are. You are ready.
I'm laughing so hard at him with the selling ass.
Oh my God! Don't, Miss Tanya, don't encourage him. Don't encourage him.
I know some people making some money too.
I
Lord.
told you, running
Right there.
Miss Tanya. Is that the name I'm going with? May I call you Miss Tanya?
So this is Miss Tanya Jones.
Yes,
Miss Tanya,
that's fine, Tanya.
Miss
That's
Tanya,
fine.
I gave a high level introduction of you. Go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody else. I probably didn't do you justice.
I am fabulous. No, I'm sorry. I'm Tanya Jones. I'm from, of course, St. Pete, and just kind of doing some entrepreneurial stuff with, as you can see, I just got off. It's funny you guys are talking about that. I worked at I have an assisted living facility, and my husband and I build homes. And so, but I did the corporate thing too. And it's funny you say that. I heard you guys talking about corporate America, and I try not to. I'm gonna always kind of push for the whole entrepreneurial thing because it just kind of fast tracked my life. That's what it did. But my experience in corporate America allowed me, I think, to be successful. Not saying you got to have both. However, I can write a good email. I can, I've dealt with a lot of personalities. And so certain things that I contribute to corporate America. So I'm not saying you got to go there first, but if you are in corporate America, it doesn't mean that, hey, not someday you're going to be able to own your own business. Take those skills because you have to be able to get along with people. You got all different personality types going to come your way.
Very, very true. And I fully agree. We do have some semblance of corporate experience and entrepreneurial spirit. I mean, starting a podcast, starting a media company, all that.
Absolutely.
You don't have to answer if you have a kid or not, but what would you like graduation leading up? Would you push them to college to go that corporate route, or would you push them towards entrepreneurial if you had to pick either or?
Well, actually, I have two. I have a 29-year-old and I have a 16-year-old IB student and that's where, to me, you got to know your.
I'm sorry. Did you come here to tell lies? I honestly thought you wasn't there with 26. Do not come on here and tell lies about. You can't do that.
Need to stop.
With all the respect I have, please don't come on here. This is a place where we tell the truth, and I'm forcing you to tell the truth today.
I wish. My daughter will be 29 next week.
Sorry, you're 29 next week.
Well, June 6th, she'll be 29.
Well, shout out to your jeans. Your jeans are immaculate.
Yeah, strong jeans. But you were going to tell us what, like, graduation day, which way you push your kid.
I was getting all these compliments, It's funny because my 16-year-old that's an IB, she's very smart. She has a 3.8 GPA, and you got to know your kids. And my 29-year-old, she's more so kind of, you could put her in the room with anybody. She's somewhat like me. So I feel if my kid came to me, which she went to school, she did her 2-year degree, and then she's like, okay, she kind of got bit by the whole entrepreneurial bug. And I was like, okay, what do you want to do? Because I think that if you're going to fail, let's fail right now in your 20s until we find something that works.
Right, let's get
I'm a parent. I'm not a parent that's going to say, go to college, go to college, go to college. That's just not me. I'm not going to set my kid up to fail, nor am I going to tell my 16-year-old IB kid who's very, very smart not to go to college because she would do well. So you got to look at your kids, and that's what kills me with black folks. We be looking at old boy, he done missed every ball you done threw at him, and y'all gonna just keep him trying to play football. Now we gotta stop that. We gotta stop.
Play football.
That's
trash.
Well, a lot of times that's because the parent usually wants their kid to pretty much live. If parents trying to live through their child versus they're letting the kid blossom in whatever the kid is supposed to blossom in. So I definitely do agree with you.
Absolutely.
Is that why you always making your kid play basketball?
No, never make
I know.
Listen,
because they had to be happy.
I worked a lot with Mike as we grew up.
Here we go.
If you don't know, I did kind of raise this young man.
He said he was going to bring the truth to you. We got to bring the truth to
But that's neither here nor there.
He's lying.
That's neither here nor there. Me personally, even though I do work in corporate America, I know quite a few entrepreneurs, and I still kind of prefer the entrepreneur route. Even though corporate America, for me, is just safe, but what really grows in a safe comfort zone?
Nothing.
You know?
So I think for us as some brown folks, we have to, if we want to get to the next level and start leaving some legacies and some things like that, then what we have to do is encourage our kids to, even if they get a 4-year degree, to still own something. You got to own some stuff. And I think that's what I wish we would do. That's where the trades come in.
I agree. We got to learn to work for the brother man, not the other man.
So, and that's so funny, Miss Tanya, because you segued me, because I talked about the trades earlier before we brought you on, and you kind of, God, you did this on Worm Show too. I'm gonna let you just host the show. But in general, we talk about this shift not only from corporate America to self-made, but the shift from a traditional education to a vocational education. And how do you feel about that? Because first of all, a lot of our people don't go the traditional education route. It's fair to say traditionally African Americans, we are the minority in the university unless you're going to an HBCU. Like, what's your thoughts on that? Like, do you think it's like because me personally, I think that everybody should try college. You should try it out and see if it's for you. Granted, now if you flunk in basic algebra shit like that. Hold on, let her finish. Go ahead, Ms. Tanya.
Well, let me tell you what I think. Sometimes I think go get the bag and now you can pay for college. Like right now, I can pay for college. I can pay for anywhere I want to go. So I don't think that the answer is always get out of high school and go get all of this debt. And it's so funny because there are parents that they set them up for failure. They'll say, oh, my kid has a degree. And sometimes I want, how much did it cost? And it sometimes have cost people. I know a boy who, a guy, he got I forgot what type of degree, sociology, psychology. He paid $150,000 for it. Yeah. That's not smart.
I know him too. Tim, right? His name Tim?
Yeah, he went to UC.
No. So silly. No, but my thing is sometimes pursue, like you can get it later on. Like right now, I'm going to get my degree, but it's just for me, just for something for me. It's like self, but I can afford it right now. So no, I don't agree that you got to have the whole college experience, because I think I went to school with a lot of folks that, to me, they didn't do well in college, but they graduated college and then they got out, and guess what? Now they're working for somebody making $17 an hour or $15 an hour. But had they pursued that vocational and taken up that trade and said, you know what? She was really good with her hands and she loved hair, but her parents pushed her for college. She could have come out with a product. There's so many things you can do. I'm not a parent. I know a lot of people don't agree with me on that, but I am not pushing and forcing my kid to go to college. You got to find your kid's skill set and you got to be truthful. And for all y'all keep wanting to hear them babies rapping and stuff, some of them ain't sounding too good. I ain't being funny. Be honest.
Let's bring Three Kings in. But while you do that, I want to go ahead and bring on.
All right.
I do want to say, Miss Tanya took the words right out of my mouth. We're talking about people that might not do well, starting off 100K in debt. You already behind in the race, and then
absolutely.
I've been in the position where I didn't have a 4-year degree. I have a 2-year degree and a certificate, but I've been sitting in jobs, call center jobs, next to people with 4-year degrees and a bunch of debt, and we're at the same job, and I'm like, hello, what's up? What's good? Like, why, you're sitting on 100K in debt and you're not even doing the thing that you went to school for. You got a general degree, something in like business admin, or you know what I mean? Like, it ain't always good to just, and I'm with you a little bit, Claude, the experience of college could be great. That's why you have state colleges. That's why you have a community college too, lessen that debt level. Because you go to a 4-year and fail, now you're just sitting on debt and no degree.
Well,
I think the hood taught me more than college could have ever taught me.
Ooh, tell me about it.
I've learned how to, I can, someone's talking, I can tell who's full of crap. I can tell you, I know how to count real good. And there's a lot of stuff. And I'm not saying that circumstances happen is why I didn't go to college. But of course, at the time, I'm thinking, I always felt like I kind of missed something. But when I look at a lot of the folks that went to college, I'm a lot further than them financially. And so for me, if we talk about just money, I don't think that going to college and getting a 4-year degree means, you know, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to hire all the people. I don't have a degree, but I'm going to hire all the people with one.
Right.
We got to.
You speaking
they
right
can
now.
work for me.
We got another guest on, but I just wanted to just say something before we brought it to them. But because I personally, I do believe that everybody should see what's out there for you. And again, there's certain people who, if you fail in basic basket weaving in high school, probably a 4-year education ain't for you. But I will say somebody like me, who I was pushed, I was good in science and math, so I was pushed to go to. I went pre-med to college, and I'm not afraid to say this, I didn't do too well because I did. It wasn't my passion. This is my passion. I actually took a 10-year hiatus and went back when I was 30 years old. It was the hardest thing I ever did in my whole entire life, going back to college at 30, but I am proud of myself for finishing. But again, it's that 10-year.
What did that do to you mentally? Let me ask you, because I think that's another, and not to just get into that, but as Black folks, we don't ever want to talk about that mental piece. So what does that do to you mentally, because you're real smart and having everybody say, go to college. And then what did that do for your mental, your psyche when you stopped?
It was embarrassing to me. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody had these high hopes and these expectations for me. And at the end of the day, I still did great. I mean, I was making bank at the job that I had at the time. I worked for a bank for 16 years. Like right now, not only do I have a college education, but I got 16 years in the financial industry. You know,
so speak more toward you being a failure.
People were telling me being a failure.
About you being a failure.
I felt like a failure, but I know I wasn't a failure. It's kind of one of those things, like you said, mentally. I think had I been encouraged to more go to school for my passion, I might have probably still gone to a 4-year college, but I would have. I mean, I went to a school that also had a film school. You know what I'm saying? I'm a producer and do visuals at a production company now. Imagine where we would be right now had I actually started doing that 16 years ago.
So it's your fault.
So it's my fault. It's my fault. We're not as popping in the bag as we are.
But Steve, you can fail into success.
You can, and I'm still waiting for him to do that.
Yeah.
And that's come here real quick.
I'm waiting for him to fail into success because it hasn't quite happened yet. So far, he's just failing.
Anyhow,
I gotta say this, and he can talk. But I forgot last time. This is my better half.
Hey, how you doing?
My husband. I just gotta say this. He was. We used to call in front of my daughter. She's 16, so we can tell the truth now. But he went to Paris, meaning prison, for 4 years. And now we're building homes. So sometimes, and I just wanted to say that to say he's studying right now. He'll have his general contractor license within 30 days. So the thing that speaks to is we failed to where we are right now. So I just wanted to say that to Steve when he said, let's talk about being a failure. By all accounts, we failed. But what better two people to get in front of some young folks and say, hey, I had a kid at 19. I've been to prison. I did this. I did that. We are it. And that's why I like these platforms. I got to speak to us that anything is possible.
I hear that. I also had a kid at 19, so I relate to you with that one.
As did I. And Ms. Tanya, I do like that sentiment, and shout out to you both. Salute to you both for going to Paris and failing.
That was my college.
Yeah, and I bet you learned a lot. But we do have a company, and we're going to do something like that. So I'm going to get you in front of some kids talking, okay? I'm going to hold you to it.
Oh, that would be awesome. Because my daughter like, Mom, can I ask a question? Daddy wasn't in Paris.
We wasn't in Paris.
So,
He was at where them showers turn cold real quick and then back to warm real quick. So
absolutely.
Thank you, Ms. Tanya.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
I couldn't do it without him.
Yeah. Ms. Tanya, thank you. I appreciate you for having me on.
Nice meeting you.
Oh, actually, real quick.
I'm going to stay here and listen because I want to hear what he has to say.
Ms. Tanya, throw your IG real quick. What's your IG? Where can people find you for your business?
They can find me at Top to Bottom Builders. AALF, that's my Annie's Assisted Living Facility, Tampa, and Perfectly Flawed 0902 on Instagram.
Entrepreneurs is up 1-0.
Yes. Hang out here, Ms. Tanya. We might bring you back on in a second, so just hang out, okay?
Okay, no problem. I'll sit back and listen.
All
crazy
right.
part is, Mike, I got a gay homie, right? His name actually he goes by top to bottom. That's the
Oh,
wild part.
wow.
Yeah,
That's
remember
crazy.
old boy.
Wasn't that Mike's actual stripper name, top to bottom?
It's double chocolate.
It was double decker.
It's double chocolate. It's double chocolate.
Double stuffed. All right, we gotta stop our shit.
Go
We
ahead,
got on.
introduce yourself, brother.
No, so
Hey, don't get into a car accident now.
Yeah.
not me. I hands free, baby.
Oh no.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
Well, me. You should know me, but everybody else don't know me. My name is Norris, but I'm better known in the Tampa Bay area as Tony or the cell phone guru.
In the cell phone business. So obviously you're an entrepreneur, as you just told them. The question on the table is, you got to convince somebody to go one or the other. Are we talking, we sending them entrepreneur, or are you sending them to college for a corporate career?
I will always encourage entrepreneurship. Take the entrepreneurial route. The main reason why I will always encourage it is on this one single word: ownership.
Okay.
When you're in the corporate world, they use your services, and it's like a bee to a flower scenario. The bee will come to the flower to pollinate the flower to make more flowers grow. But sometimes when there's too many bees and it's overpollinated, it's just going to kill the plant. So a lot of corporate jobs, I've been seeing people kill their dreams, their ambitions, literally their whole purpose of living for their passion, because the corporate is sucked up out of the best years of their life.
But
he kind of
and I get everybody sick, because I feel like the conversation has moved away from everybody's like the corporate. Let's move away from the corporate. But I do have to go back to the fact that, like,
also got to keep in mind, Claude, moving away from the corporate because these are only entrepreneurs speaking.
That's true.
So you got to also understand that.
I will represent. I represent a little
Where
bit.
y'all corporate folks at?
Yeah, y'all hop on your corporate folks. But I just want to say though, like, just what do I say? What, Norris? First off, you ain't wearing your Dan Boone hat today, so I'm a little bit upset with you on that. I was expecting to see that. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Good job. Thank you.
Norris, he's entrepreneur. He always aim to please, right, Norris? Norris, you always aim to please.
Always.
Hey, all I need is a Four Loko and a pack of Lucky Strikes. But no, like,
All I need is a 7-piece of wings and a funky 40.
This combo turned weird.
Yes, it did already.
A weird date y'all on.
But no, I'm just saying. Norris, I just need your opinion, because, like, think about this. Like I said, COVID, right? So we even shut down for 3 months because of COVID. Had it been literally our only source of income, say we weren't in corporate jobs, that could have been detrimental to us, and it could have buried us. So what do you say about that?
It definitely could, but one thing about the entrepreneur route, you will always learn a new way to reinvent the wheel. You feel me? Because you're able to re-identify what the purpose of the wheel that you need to use it for. Sometimes you may need to use that wheel to travel. Other times you may need that wheel as a pulley system to pull yourself up. Because during the COVID situation, I was hella limited because a lot of my cell phone dealers, they couldn't get work to me because their businesses were closed and they couldn't make profit themselves. So what I did, I went on more of a freelancing work and just started doing a lot of freelancing work and service work to help out other people, IT situations and infrastructures. So if you always have that entrepreneurial spirit, you will figure out a new way to get it. Because when you have that corporate mindset, you will always try to apply a life situation as a manual. You will try to go through that book. Okay, I'm on my dick. What I do to get through it? When you're an entrepreneur, you already know what it is because you already got it from the mud. Get it back up, and once you return back to the mud, you can always bounce back. But a corporate situation will never teach you how to get yourself out of zero.
You don't think working your way up from the bottom to the top teaches you some important things that if you go out on your own, it will be invaluable, that you necessarily would have to. So say, I don't like to use the words right and wrong. I think Mike and I had a discussion about what's the right way to go, traditional education or vocational or entrepreneur or corporate. I don't like right or wrong, but I like to use the terms easier and harder. You don't think it's easier to go to corporate route and then entrepreneur? What you think?
Well, it depends on the individual, and there are some corporate situations that you can definitely grow from. So let's say you're in a corporate situation that you do with media and mass marketing. You may decide to go branch out and do your own thing. And like what y'all guys doing with the gift of giving us the podcast, with that knowledge that you learned from the corporate world, it would basically get you to where I need to be, but probably faster and quicker. So in theory, that is an easier route. It's just, it's more of the trade-off. With the corporate world situation, you get invaluable knowledge that you can use in turn and make yourself super successful and super rich really fast. But also, you got to always understand the ownership. That's what's wrong within our Black community. We do not value the word of ownership. We rather work for someone versus actually owning it ourselves. And then let's say something hurts us, or we go to a life-changing event, and with that lack of ownership, we don't have nothing to leave for our legacy. And our legacy is our children, our name, and our brand.
Oh, I honestly,
Hey,
Norris, I can't combat you. Well,
Yeah.
honestly, and also I said in the beginning, even though I do work in the corporate world, I know I have a lot of entrepreneur friends, and you know exactly what I'm saying.
But let's be real, like it go hand in hand, because I done seen people in the corporate world figure it out. Hey, this is the top producer, this is our top client. Now I'm finna back door them and tell them I can do the job cheaper because they know the whole business.
I agree. And like I was saying, like you and I know a lot of the same people. Like honestly, you and I run in the same exact circles, though I'm not an entrepreneur, but you and I are always in the same spots dealing with the same folk.
You don't
because
count yourself as entrepreneur?
Well, in a way.
You're right, Steve, because remember we used to start in the strip club sector, you know. I was
exactly.
You was Slim Slickum. So
exactly.
We were Slim Slickum.
Right, and that's what. And we used to wear socks on our jimmies, but you always had the ankle sock. I had the tube sock. You had the ankle sock.
I don't remember that.
You had the ankle sock.
I had a bonnet. I used a bonnet. So I don't know what you're talking about.
A whole bonnet. Yo,
whole bonnet.
We talking about
I'm using a trash bag. I'm just saying, but go ahead. I said it.
That's just a trash bag.
A 13-gallon trash bag. Whatever. Go for it. I gave it.
You think he missing? Oh no, he was acting like he was missing in I Can't Stand the Rain video. That's why he had the trash bag. He was missing.
Yo, you talking? So far we haven't really got into this. We talking about a lot of the winning, and I know entrepreneurs, and Miss Tanya's winning. And you're winning, y'all businesses is running, and I ain't gonna put a level of success on it, but they running and they up. Tell us about some of them pitfalls.
Because it ain't always up and stuck.
The pitfalls of the entrepreneur is if you don't have your finances right and you make poor decisions, it can ruin you. But like what Miss Tanya said, you actually fell into success. Because I don't know if y'all watch a lot of stand-up. You remember when Cat Williams was like, you got some people that try some shit, didn't work. If you continue to try, eventually it'll work because you'll have a cheat sheet. You know what to do and what not to do. And I would say the biggest thing about entrepreneurship is literally the trust level. You got to know who to trust and the right person to trust. Because if not, they can run you dry. And that's a lot of things in the entrepreneur world. Those who don't have the knowledge, they get preyed upon. So I always tell people, do your research. Know the good, the bad, and the ugly. So when it comes your way, you know how to move. I had to learn that because my first 8 years of being in business, I was in a flea market. Yes, I was in a flea market making $90,000 a year, but I wasn't satisfied with that. And being in the flea market, you meet all kind of different scams and hustles, especially being a scammer.
I remember that. I ran down on you in the flea market. You remember? I don't know if you remember that years ago. I
don't know about the run. Yeah,
not run down like I seen you, not run down like that, but I seen. I was like, oh shit,
he ran into me. He ran into me because he was buying them fake J's. You know, the ones that got the air smell backwards with the apartment.
Yeah. He was good for that. He always was good for that.
So
fake shoe Stevie.
I want to bring them both in. I want to bring Miss Tanya because I got a question. Miss Tanya, if you still, I'm gonna bring you in real quick. I got a question for both of y'all. That's because I want y'all to just because going back to the corporate thing, because I thought about this the other day when Mike and I were talking about this. Do you think our people of color, I just say black people. Let's start off there and we go into people of color.
Black.
No, Mike is black.
That's my shit. I wake up to that.
Yeah, you peanut butter brown, bro.
Do we belong? Miss Tanya and Norris, do we belong in corporate America? And the American version of the corporate monster, does the black person belong in corporate America?
Who get to go first?
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
Miss Tanya.
Man, we equal opportunity. There ain't no ladies first. She equal like me. Oh man, you go first.
We like her better. Let's have her first. We like her better.
Well, I'm going to be totally honest and tell you guys that corporate America for me was a game. I came in at about 26 and I was promoted to a supervisor in a financial institution right away. And within about the first 5 months, I realized real quick that this game here ain't set up for me. It was not set up for me. I felt as if I felt like almost kind of, I was a token. I knew how, they didn't know how hood I was because they would have walked my ass out. But luckily, they would have walked me out the door. I knew how to play their game. I was smart in
eyeball
school.
an eighth, do they? They don't have no idea you can eyeball a whole eighth.
They had no idea. Look, a whole one and bag it up. No,
yeah, they don't know that. They don't know that. But go ahead. Not to cut you off.
They had no idea. I couldn't bring who I was. I always had to kind of shield a part of who I was to fit in their world. And it wasn't even so much about just proper enunciation. It was just about sitting in rooms where they were having some high level conversations over my head. But I didn't get smart, or I didn't dumb down. I just went home and said, oh my goodness, let me start brushing up on certain things. So then I start walking in their meetings saying some shit way above their pay grade. And then I kind of used to laugh because I know they didn't even know. And I felt like, for me, it was too much of a game, and I enjoyed it. So then I just had to find the right company that I could work for and somewhat bring a part of who I was. So to be honest with you, I really don't think so. I watched them one time want me to fire a girl because she had a gold tooth. I watched it and I wouldn't. I actually sued a company and was very successful. They wanted me to walk people out the door, but we're not calling it that she had a gold tooth. What? She was great on the phone. She just came in with who she was, and I was sitting back cheering for her. And that's when I start feeling as if I'm selling myself out. Because I'm like, come on, man, this bullshit.
She was a black woman?
She was a black girl, and she was from the hood, but she was so good on that phone. She had 3 or 4 kids, and you could tell she had that whole mama Southern, but for the way she looked, they would find any little thing wrong with her. And so for me, there was a part of me feeling like and I'll give you a quick example. When I finally broke free, my husband just kept saying, you got to quit when we started our company, and I did. But when I broke free, I got on Facebook, and they got the whole Tanya. I had people in my inbox going, Miss Tanya, is this you? Yeah, damn right. And if you don't want to hear this shit, you better not unfriend me, because now there's freedom in being an owner. There's freedom. I can write what I want to write. I can say what I want to say with respect. But in corporate world and in their game, they were only going to let me get to a certain level. As an entrepreneur, I get to decide my level. I can go as far as I want to go. Ain't no stopping me.
Man, we finna quit our jobs today. Call your boss right now. Call your job. Tell him you're done. I'll call it.
I'm thinking big. And he was right what he said, because when times got bad and we started doing really bad, as an entrepreneur, you find something, you reinvent yourself. Guess what? I started doing credit repair. Never did taxes before. I learned how to do taxes. I opened up a shop in the south part of St. Pete on a strip mall, and I started doing taxes. I was in the strip club. I said, hey, I'll get you. Wait, you can get your taxes done. I was doing the strippers' taxes. I set up shop outside of Walmart, because I knew I had to educate people that didn't know. So as an entrepreneur, hey, guess what? When it get crucial, you are already thinking about something else.
That's that will Norris was talking about. That will that
you have to
take you somewhere or use it as a pulley.
Hey, Norris, you still with us?
Absolutely.
You still with us,
Norris, come in, because I want to hear what he says.
Well, while we wait for them to jump back in, there's a lot of good conversation. I hope we got some corporate folks to jump in here. Because I know I work corporate, but I don't want to pick a side because I don't want them to see this. I need the help insurance. I need the help insurance. I ain't free yet. I'm this close, Natalia. I'm this close.
While we're waiting on Norris, I'll take the time to say, y'all, if you are watching, the 3 of you, or however many, because y'all could be sharing. There's Norris.
Hey, man.
Hey, Norris. I want to hear what Norris has to say.
I'm gonna answer question, but just to introduce y'all, here go my G, Papa Stopper. He's a small business owner.
Hey, actually, I still want to catch up with Papa. I still want to catch up with him. I want a couple seafood plates. I'm gonna run down to Papa Stopper.
Yeah. So this entrepreneurship support with me is personal. So I definitely
Always-
support
always
all
promote.
entrepreneurs in the Tampa Bay area. But to answer
Absolutely.
the question that was given, I have a different conversation on it. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, my G. Always, man. Now, to have the black man into the corporate world, bye, Queen.
Come on, Norris. Hey, who said soldier ain't allowed in the hood? You finna don't get embarrassed on
I'm
camera.
no,
Come on.
I believe we
Who
are
said
meant
soldier
to
ain't
be,
recorded in
I
the
believe
hood?
we are meant to be in the corporate world. The reason why I feel that we're meant to be in the corporate world, I think it's for the enlightenment and the edification, and the inspiration of the black community. One of my first idols was really Puff Daddy. To see that man come from where he came from the hustle, literally working for years for free, to a point that he cannot be ignored. So it's great to see our genius is being recognized for our accolades, because throughout history, a lot of our identity was stolen. Like, most people don't know the grandfather of the cell phones that we use today as a necessity was created by a black man. A lot of people do not even know that. So if we have that, if our kids don't know that knowledge, they are always feel the only way they can be successful is to dribble the ball or pick up a mic. So when they see other black people in that situation being top level entrepreneurs, CEOs, CFOs, COOs, they'll say, "Whoa, wow, I can do that."
Mm-hmm.
And I personally believe we are needed into corporate America, because corporate America, yes, like she said, it is a game. But the best thing about our people, we learn the rules and then we exploit the game. We gonna play to win by any means.
So Norris, don't you think then going back to the conversation that we had about trade versus traditional education, we already know in America, unfortunately, they look at traditional education as the thing, even though we know it ain't a guarantee to a job, ain't a guarantee to the white picket fence or the house or the $1 million or the car or whatever. There's no guarantee if you go get a college education. But don't you think that since they look at that as part, that's the monopoly piece, that's the car,
yeah,
the symbol.
Yeah.
Don't you think though that well, how do you feel about that? Comment on that. Tanya,
well, I'm gonna be a buck with you. Statistically, there are more millionaires in the United States that have literally a high school diploma or less. Let that sink in.
But Norris, don't you think though that those people
didn't let it sink in?
I can't understand it. It's because I heard this before. Norris, I heard this before.
Yo, it's that sink knocking at the door. That's you ain't let that sink in, Chloe.
When it sink, it's sunk. It's
Now,
good.
I
It's dead.
I always encourage people to have a backup plan for your backup plan. So a trade is definitely warranted. I know some people that got an AC trade, literally learned the ropes, learned the ups and downs about it, and then turned around and started their own LLC that built into a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's simply off a trade. And then even with that trade, you got to do a little research. You got to do some hard work and networking. Because, like, for instance, they have a whole entrepreneurial class in Tampa and workshop that's legitimately for free. So you can go learn those different things that, corporate America would teach you if you work for them. It's just, more steps, but you'll still have the opportunity of learning. And education is definitely key, because you can't come in like an average dope boy, come into the corporate world and just think, oh, I'm going to muscle my way through. No, there's a certain etiquette that must be respected and checked, so you got to be able to adapt. So if you're not able to adapt, you literally just set yourself up for failure, and probably worse for failure, because people always remember what you do wrong versus what you do right. So at least I'd rather make an educated failure versus, an emotional success story. Because in the end, you'll make enemies along the way, and you'll probably make the wrong enemies. Some people in business may feel like, oh, he's a great technician, he's a great talker, he's a great motivation, but I just don't like his personality. And by that dislike of personality, that word travels and spreads. And then how other business people trust other business people word, they literally don't do business with you because they trust that other person's word. So, all the way down to the education, I'm always for education. I personally believe education should be free. Some countries, they give 4-year university educations like for free. 4-year BAs, AAs, and all.
They was trying to offer that in the Green New Deal, I believe it was, and people talk socialism, but I don't want to get into that.
For 2 years of junior college for free.
I don't want to get into the politics, but they tried to talk about that, and some other people call it socialism. I'm with it.
it already happens in certain states in this country, and it happens successfully.
In what?
It happens
state college?
in state college.
Yeah.
Yeah. State education in the state of New York is actually free. You know, if you get over to their state college.
But education is definitely. When I had my opportunity to go through HCC and then to USF, it was magical. And I started late. When I was 24, I believe, because I got out of prison a day before my 23rd, doing 5 years as a kid.
You mean you went to Paris?
Yeah, you was in Paris.
You was in Paris.
Went to Paris.
College.
You went to Paris college, or
And I'm gonna just be real. My whole motivation for going through HCC, to be honest, because I ain't had nothing better else to do. Why should I sit back, waste my time chasing the streets when the streets always gonna be here? Ain't nothing gonna change. It's nothing but death, despair, and misery.
facts.
But
And
all of it is opportunity.
And all that Reggie you prefer. Don't forget you preferred a lot of Reggie. You was a Reggie smoker. Like that was your thing.
Reggie.
Like you was one Reggie.
So
not me.
So I'm gonna ask y'all. So I'm gonna ask y'all both one question, one big question, and I'm gonna give y'all 60 seconds, 120 seconds to get it out because I think it's an important question. I think at Shit Division Media we struggle with this 100%. And then I'm gonna let y'all go enjoy your Thursday night. So we have one more guest online, I think, too, right, Mike? So I'm gonna start with Miss Tanya because I think Nora she done talk. I'm gonna give you mouth the rest of your mouth for a while.
Not after he just came from Paris. He needs his mouth to rest after he came from Paris.
Damn,
Paris College.
Paris College.
2-part question, 120 seconds or less, 2 minutes or less. If you can just tell us, did you feel supported when you went out on your own and started your own business as an entrepreneur? And what did you do? Because I know you probably didn't feel supported because I feel this right now. What did you do to drum up that support?
The answer to that question, hell to the no. I still don't even feel supported now. We got a long way to go before we get there. That's why it sounds pretty, all this whole entrepreneurship and all of this stuff. But I'm gonna touch on something in 60 seconds. A lot of this shit started at home. A lot of this stuff starts at. We can't expect everybody to teach us everything. Some of y'all got to stay with that baby mama and do some stuff with these children. That's the piece that we missing, because what's happening is the internet is educating these kids, and everybody think they can just go out and be an entrepreneur and do stuff like that. But I'm just going to say this, but things start at home. We got to get it right. We got to get it right. And I think that's what we're missing. Nobody supported us. They still don't support us. We ain't getting support, but I can't focus on the support I don't get. I just got to get out there and just grind and keep going. But it would be nice for people to support us. We have friends that buy houses. Ain't none one of our friends bought our house. I have an assisted living. I have an assisted living facility. I haven't had one family member come and work for me, and it worked out. So that's a part of the whole entrepreneur thing that really breaks your heart and it hurts you. But for me, it just propels me to go further because I can't worry about that. I mean, you'll meet strangers that'll help you. I get on Google, I educate myself. I probably read 2 books a month because I don't have the support. So, okay, I got to go read these books and just become, more educated. But no, there is no support, and we don't support each other in anything. Look at the internet. If I post a picture in a bathing suit, everybody, I'm going to have more likes on that picture than I will get in anything. If I post a picture promoting my business, I could have got all dolled up for this, but we speaking truth. When you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to do stuff and you're trying to get a message, I purposely don't do the dolling up as much as I used to because I'm so I don't want people to see that first. I need people to understand there's a grind. This is a grind. I worked 16-hour days last week. And no support.
With all due respect, you don't need to be all. I thought you was.
Yeah, we thought this was dolled up.
I thought you were 26. When your husband jumped on, I thought he was at least at the most 28.
Yeah.
Like I don't believe any of this. Like, I think y'all got on here to tell us lies. You're dolled up.
Y'all busting them cups.
I thought 28. I thought you were 28.
28.
If y'all are paid, you're 28, sir. If y'all are paid actors, just say that. If y'all just paid actors, just say that. I understand. I guarantee.
Good. That's a movie time.
When I go and get a house, when I'm looking for a house, I definitely will look you both up. and I would like y'all both
Thank
to
you.
build my house for sure. I
yes,
want some like
sir.
custom made. I want some custom made things. You know what I mean?
See, this why we ain't building for y'all ass right there.
Miss Tanya,
And that money custom. Yeah.
Miss Tanya, we're gonna
That
let y'all
custom
go.
money.
We're gonna let y'all go and enjoy y'all Thursday night.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna
Thank
keep
you,
in touch
guys.
because you know we love you over here at Shit Division Media. We'll keep in touch. Okay?
Before you go,
I love you guys back.
does your husband have a social media that we can
Is
follow
something y'all
him?
want to promote?
Like anything he wants to promote?
We gonna support.
Same thing.
My husband's like the top is TOP, the number 2 builders,
Okay,
top to
Okay.
bottom builders.
Top to
and
bottom.
that's on social media and everything else.
Yes,
That's on Instagram.
Okay,
And his alma mater, Paris College. Shout
Paris
out to
College.
y'all.
Right.
Paris.
and I'm definitely gonna follow y'all. And when I get my house built, I would like to work with y'all.
Thank y'all.
PU.
Thank y'all.
Y'all have a great enjoy your Thursday night. Bye. All right, Norris.
Hey, Norris, your turn,
Hit
brother.
us with it. 120 seconds or less. If you can
All right,
tell
what's
us
the
answer
What's
the
the
question.
support like?
What's the support like? Did you feel supported when you went off on your own to just get your business going? And obviously you didn't because we know we're entrepreneurs. And what are you doing to drum up support? So go ahead.
Well, naturally, no, I didn't get the support that I personally feel I should have got. And what I honestly did to draw my support and all, literally, I decided to do business with the ops. I'm just being honest. I'd rather deal business with a person who I personally know didn't like me because I know they respect me for my skill. They're paying me for my skill. They're not paying me for my personality, my relationship with them or nothing. The ones who have close friends, I done got friends that don't support me, that'll go to corporate like T-Mobile, Verizon. They tax them out the blue, and then they come to me and like, wow, you're cheaper. Naturally, I'm a small business. I can dictate my pricing. So be honest, I learned how to do business with the ops. I learned how to play in the wolves den to be an alpha.
Norris, I'm super proud of you and all that you have done.
Yeah,
hey, and also, you know, I love this. What I'm happy to say right now, the simple fact.
Do it.
Norris, have I ever done business with you?
Yeah, I told you we used to do stripping. We used to
No,
work.
like real shit. Like with your cell phone, have I? Do I not come to you?
You do definitely come to me.
I definitely
support me.
I definitely do, bro.
Hey, see, I feel attacked now because I did hit you about the iPhone for my son, but I never made it over because he broke it. But
well, I understand that because you know kids, boy, you just sometimes you might just have to choke them out.
Yeah,
I understand that.
I can't talk about it right now because you know CPS might be watching the pod. But I will say this: I supported you in other ways. When you post things, I hit the share button. Friends,
you definitely do. And I definitely appreciate it. Just like y'all, like I'm so proud of y'all. Y'all started literally from the elevator with a microphone and a GoPro. I'm so proud of y'all.
No, but dead ass Norris, like that's what. Other than, I consider you a friend of mine, and I'm sure it's the same way. And even past that, you're my brother. I love you.
Yeah, man.
So I definitely will always support you in whatever it is you do. And you know, I hit you first. I have sent people to you. I mean, you already know. We ain't got to discuss it here, but you already know how you and I get down.
Exactly. Like the love is mutual. Like if y'all ever need me to knock down a big fat girl who got y'all for hostage for y'all, like I'll take her down. I swear I will.
Norris, this has been a pleasure having you on the show.
I make her feel like she's skinny.
Oh my goodness! Even though you don't have to, big girls are beautiful.
Yeah, man.
We like. I love them myself.
Yeah.
Norris,
hey, I got my this is my BBW membership card right there. Like,
you got a membership?
Is that the hat that go with it too? The hat go with it?
What?
You stupid, bro.
Call it.
Hey.
Norris, you're not going to get on this platform and diss the BBWs. First off, you used to wear an ankle sock when we used to strip.
Yeah.
That's first off.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
I told you I had a bonnet. I know what you talking about.
Hey, tell us where they can find you. How do they get your services? What can you do? Like, this is your commercial time. You got 15 seconds.
Oh, cool. Boom. Commercial time. TB Wireless and Tech. Specialize in all your cell phone repair needs, buy, sell, and trade. You catch me online on Facebook, IG as TB Wireless Tech, all one word. Also, I do promotions in DJing with Three Kings Promotion and Three Kings Lounge. We got a three-headed monster featured me, my brother Chris Jackson, and my other brother Justin Mitchell. I also can help book spaces for events on Kingsway. Check us out, 3Kings_Tone on IG, J Fire on IG, and also Chris Jackson on IG. Hit us up. Make sure y'all support my brothers at the Port Podcast. Everybody Always like, click, and share, and spread the word. Word of mouth is better and always will be golden. But with this new age, look, let's run it. Pull up podcast, a new wave in Tampa Bay, setting the standard. So, hey, I appreciate the love and the time for letting me get on, fellas.
Hey, thank you for being here, bro.
Thanks, Norris. I think Norris, you was a pimp in your last life and stuff like that. You got a nice talk.
Wait, what was that little shimmy? What was that little shimmy?
That was Steve move. Steve used to go like this on his chest.
Hit it, Steve. Hit it, Steve.
I just do a little bit. Just a little razzle dazzle.
And Norris, stand by for TPU and Shit Division Media. We'll collab soon. I think I know a little bit about what's going on over at Kingsway, and I think it's
yeah. We'll put something together.
Yeah. Thank you for
coming. Hey, we need to do a live podcast. We can do that. Hey, I've been wanting to do strippers and milkshakes for a long time.
Hey, that's gonna be the name of the episode.
I've been saying this for years. Strippers. I
got my vaccine. I'm ready, bro. Salute you, TB Wireless.
Oh, I got my vaccine too. You know, I got it's called rubber touching, and I'm good.
That's the hood.
I thought you were so much your penicillin.
No, that's that other stuff.
All right, Norris.
TB Wireless Attack. Thank you, Norris.
Thank you. Tap in later, man. Thank you.
Entrepreneurs up 2-0.
All right, Mike. We had
bring her.
I guess I'll bring her in now. Who we got, Mike?
Friend of the show. She's actually guested on here. But anyway, you introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm Sam. I own Sammy Cakes, and I work in the corporate world. I do a little bit of both, so I'm gonna give y'all both sides. I would like to start off by saying, though, if anybody wants to see a video of Steve's razzle dazzle, I have it. I have a couple videos.
Send that to me now. I would use that as a promo.
Sam, I had
no idea.
I probably have like 4 or 5 videos in my phone, so let me know.
Sam, I had no idea he was coming on, so this was definitely a pleasant surprise. Hi, how are you?
Surprise! Hi, I'm good. How's it going?
It's going decent. Have you been watching so far?
Yeah, I have. I told Mike I would hop on because I had both sides, and I know y'all wanted to hear potentially the other side too. So. Am I what?
Are you drinking?
I'm drinking water.
Tell him it sounds like you've been. Let her talk.
Pour up. Guests on the pour up gotta be a little tipsy. Come on now.
Claude's wallet. Sam, Claude is a little lit right now, so you gotta just kind of excuse him and his actions.
This is 32
Honestly,
ounces.
it's fine. It's generally the only way I like him. So
that's not even a diss. All right, Sam, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
Well, what question is she answering? Like,
what
did y'all pose for her?
Well,
I got an answer for all of them. So
yeah, go ahead. She can listen.
Yeah. Okay. So I kind of say you should go with both. You really have to determine what's best for you. Entrepreneurship is cool. It's great, but some of y'all are not entrepreneurs. You're hobbyists. It's different.
Oh, she's talking about
yeah, I like that.
Oh shit,
hobbyists.
Yeah, it's a lot of times people are like, oh, I'm gonna dive in and I'm gonna do this, and I'm, don't quit your job until you know it's for you. Corporate America, working for the man, it can suck, but it's also a really good avenue to teach you a lot of things. What Miss Latanya said earlier, she hit the nail right on the head. She said corporate America influenced my business, and me too. I was a server before I started doing any of this. Like, I worked in restaurants and stuff like that. I'm one of those people who I could have gone either ways. I made decent grades in school. I didn't make like straight A's or anything because I wasn't that interested in it. But I'm very book smart. I'm into all of that for the most part. I did go to college for a little bit. It just wasn't quite for me. But I very well could have gone that route. But for me, getting into corporate America is what kind of saved me a little bit. I learned everything that I needed to learn. I learned how to manage my money better. I learned about business. I learned about numbers and profit and all kinds of things that you wouldn't even think about. And without those tools, I wouldn't be successful with this other business that I'm running.
Which is called?
Sammy Cakes. I bake. So
everything. You bake everything. Don't sell yourself short. You bake like everything.
I do. I'm good too.
Sam, do you bake like other? Is it just sweets? Like, do you bake like real food like cooked food, like, well, not cooked food, but like chicken? I mean, if you want to like macaroni, like other things, are just like is it pastries? Pretty much.
First and foremost, you know that I make fantastic macaroni.
Right.
But I don't do it for my business though.
But this for other people.
Hold on, Steve. So this is gonna go here, Sam. We're gonna talk about the mac and cheese. Steve brought up the mac and cheese.
Claude salty.
Claude is salty. Actually,
like his mac and cheese.
Claude's wife prefers my mac and cheese to his. So
I'm not even going to do what you're saying. Go ahead. This is about
You want to talk about it? Talk about
business
it.
and entrepreneurship.
yeah, we can talk about it if you want to. But your wife told me to bring it over for Thanksgiving last year, so I don't think too much more be said about that.
Claude, you can always start your baking business. It can be called Claude Cakes, Claude Cheeks.
You know, you was all about that Claude to play plates. You cook that. I'm not joking. You Claude. This is about Sam, right?
Yeah. Backpedaling like a mother.
How is that? No,
don't come here hungry ever again, motherfucker.
I would have on record talked about the way that Claude cooks. I don't know about his macaroni. I don't know if it's better than Sam's. I have no idea. I don't know because I had Sam's. I've had Sam's. I never had yours. Pause.
And his
so
mashed
I don't
potatoes
know.
as well.
I'll tell you what, Sam.
Just take note, Steve, that anytime we have an event, you have mine. That's all you need to know.
I'll tell you what, Sam.
It's hers that brings.
We're gonna do a challenge. We're gonna have like a cooking segment.
We did a challenge, and I
no.
He thought you were gonna bring it up.
We didn't have a cooking show.
We are on a wild tangent.
You can be the judge because
we are on a wild.
Before we get too deep in the woods, I would like Sam to stay on point.
Yeah, entrepreneurship or corporate.
You really have to decide what's right for you, because like I said, so some people are good at things. They have these things that they like to do, but would not be successful doing it full time. You have to have an unreal level of discipline. You have to be tough. You have to be willing to multitask, and you have to be willing to do the work. And you have to be willing to find balance in your life too, because I think one of you asked earlier, what are the downsides of it? You know, like Norris said, you have to manage your money, and you have to make sure your money is on point, because shit like a global pandemic can come out of the blue and stop all your sales. I wasn't selling nothing. Nobody was having birthday parties when COVID came out, or graduation parties or anniversary parties or none of that. So you have to be prepared for that. And you know, it takes a toll on a lot. It takes a toll on your relationships, on your friendships. It takes a toll on everything, because you have to dedicate so much to it. And a lot of people think that you have to, you have to grind super hard, but you also have to find balance in your life so you don't burn out too. Which is kind of something that happened to me as well, which I got back from that, thankfully. But there's a lot of people are not built for this. You're not built to be able to do this. You have to have a strong mental. You have to be able to go with the flow. If you're a super perfectionist, or you have to have every little thing in order to be able to start or to be able to continue, you're not going to be able to do this, because things happen. Sometimes your microphone's not going to work. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like there's all these things that could potentially go wrong. You have to be able to go with the flow.
FYI, I'm a visual specialist.
What I do to you? Why would you attack me?
I'm just saying, y'all came back from it. Y'all had an entire show, a good show. You still had your guests on. Y'all were like, all right, we have a problem. We're gonna fix it and keep it moving. A lot of people can't do that.
Sam, all I gotta say is that I'm the visual specialist. Steve is the talent. Mike is the audio specialist. So I'm not placing no blame, but you just. What a chips lay.
You're not gonna tell them the part where
I think it was just Claude's energy, just up the vibrations and the connections, and
that's why his cup's so big.
I got y'all.
but he also found the app.
I think Steve just cut the wires. He wanted to spoon with Claude a little bit. Let's get close so we can talk in the same mic, right?
Damn.
I mean, at the end of the day, Sam, you could have just said good dope sell itself.
It does. That's why I'm successful with my business.
You're gonna get more drink.
Sam, I definitely agree with a lot of what you're. I agree with a lot of what you're saying as far as needing both, because that's honestly what I was saying in the very beginning. I think nothing is wrong with entrepreneurship, and nothing is wrong with the corporate world. You have to definitely do whatever works for you. But in the same breath, if I have to pick one or the other, even though I'm not a full-blown entrepreneur, I just think that could be a more lucrative situation for yourself, because not having the answer to anyone, that has to feel amazing. It would have to. You don't to have to ask for a day off, and another man could tell you no.
No, yeah.
How does that feel? Like I need this day off for no matter what it's even for. You ask for the day off. It doesn't matter what the importance of the feeling. You need that day off, and the fact that another person can tell you no, another man.
Let me counter that. Let me counter that.
Please do.
You're right. But in my corporate job, I'm in the position where I am the boss still. Ooh. I run multiple stores. I manage people. I make the schedule, which means I make my own schedule. The only person I have to ask for permission to take off is me. So
for
you can have that. And I work for a huge corporation where even though I'm the boss of my area, I'm still very, very small. It's just about finding the corporation that you fit within, because at the same time, yeah, you're your own boss and you get all the glory and you get to decide what you do and you get to decide how you run things. But at the same time, when you fuck up, that's on you. When something goes wrong or somebody's not satisfied or somebody has an issue, that's on you, and you have to handle that all on your own. So while it's great to have, the ability to do all of these things, you also have the responsibility of every little thing that goes wrong and that weight on your shoulders.
Facts.
So,
and if you got a bad squat game, it's over for you.
Correct. Your knees are broken. No hot girl summer. Then what? You know what I'm saying? Like it's over for you. So there's ups and downs to both. You just really have to take the time. Like she said earlier, figure it out in your 20s. Like take the time and see what works for you, because corporate America is also very lucrative. You just have to decide. The thing is deciding what you want to do and going for it. Because if you go for it in corporate America, you can make stupid dumb money. My boss probably makes $150,000, $200,000 a year. He's one level up for me. You know what I'm saying? The next step up is crazier. So you can get into making millions being in corporate America.
Mm-hmm. She's just been honest.
I was fucking with it. I did want to ask you though.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your point. I want to hear the end of your point.
You don't have to make the decision to do one or the other right away. Sometimes the best thing to do is to do both. Like if I would have just been like, fuck this job and dove right into my baking, I would have quit because I wouldn't have been able to make it. And I would have been like, this is not doing what it needs to do for me or whatever. Like you can do both until you figure out what works best for you, and until you find the balance of what brings you more satisfaction, what makes you feel more whole.
And I totally agree. But you've been here before, and this is a poor podcast. All that Disney kumbaya cute shit. Pick one right now. If you was coming out of high school, you can go back. Young Sam, where you going?
Corporate.
I like it.
Because entrepreneurship is on your own time. You can start that at any time.
No,
corporate,
when you pick it, you're in it.
Too. Huh?
When you pick it, you're in it. There's no redirect. Like in this question, you pick a road and you want it, and you corporate forever, or you entrepreneur forever.
Forever for the rest of your.
Yeah,
no, I don't do finite shit because everything changes.
Oh,
so
in the real world,
I won't give you one that's for the rest of your life. But which one would I say that you should start with if you're coming out of high school, especially if you're not gonna if you're not gonna go to college and get a degree? I would say corporate, because you learn so much. Like there's so much structure to corporations, and there's so much to be learned for that will make you so much more successful, throughout life. If you just jump into entrepreneurship, you can do it, but high schools don't equip our kids
for that. No,
for
not
that.
At all. Not at all.
They're not teaching our kids how to do their taxes, how to save their money, how to write a check anymore. Like none of that. So to come right out of high school, you're not equipped for it. If they gave you the classes for that, maybe. You have to have something for that though. Like you can't just decide to be an entrepreneur and do it. You have to have a product. You have to be able to market it and be able to sell it and be able to appeal to people and learn what people like and what they need. Every product don't sell.
So you know what's interesting about that now that you say that, because I think Miss Tanya said it earlier and you kind of alluded to it now, that does start in the home. I grew up in a household, and my dad said it in the comments. I grew up in a household where entrepreneurship was a thing. Like it was.
I ain't write nothing in the comments.
It wasn't you. My dad. But anyway, Dad.
He did mention.
He's talking that shit again. Anyway, it's one of those things where, like, I've seen him run businesses. I've seen him run like a barbecue food truck. I've seen my grandfather, and shout out to Guru on this network. Our grandfathers actually worked together in a funeral home. I grew up around entrepreneurs too, and I knew how to write a business plan. Not like late high school, right out into early adulthood, and have gone to do entrepreneurial shit, like taking meetings and trying to get prototypes of things built, and even now the media network that we run, it starts in the home, and the schools ain't going to teach it.
Yeah,
that's where it has to start, because my son sees me. He even knows how to do recording arts right now because of what, like, he uses my audio interface at the house. He's like, hey Dad, how do I do this? You could get that education, and maybe not us because of our generation ahead of us, but we're in the internet era. My son grew up in it. I grew up as it started, and now he could hit the ground running. He ain't doing that well in high school, and that's neither here nor there, but he could hit the ground running as an entrepreneur because he knows what a business plan is. I had him write one based on his education level, I think it was 9th grade. So, pick this, that, and the third. You're not going into like all the business plan shit. And if you don't know what a business plan is, go Google it. But the point I was just making is schools may not teach it, but this question could be the question for a lot of people. Me and Steve had kids at 19. Our kids is approaching adulthood. They're a year or two away from it.
Salute to
literally a year and 2
salute
to
salute to my bad decision. You
Salute.
gotta salute to those.
Salute to that.
I gotta fail into success.
And we fell into success. And hopefully our kids make us rich.
Right. But one thing, Mike, I do agree with Mike. Sam, he took you took those classes one time, and he don't speak much about it. Mike
I
has.
don't know where this is going.
You talking about the classes you took?
I didn't say nothing about the classes.
You said you took classes for entrepreneurship. You said you did this
from my
when you
father.
said it. From your.
My dad taught me. Is what I was saying.
You don't accept that. I mean, that's what you said when you said you.
Not a formal class.
Either way it goes. I salute the Mike because he wanted to start a business where he made a replica of his butt because he wanted to like sell it, and he had a butt replica.
Steve, what are you ever talking about?
I'm trying to support my man. I'm here to support
All I'm saying is,
I tried to head this off at the past.
You didn't have a butt replica, Mike, where you were selling on black what was it, black or something.com?
No, I never sold
it's called The Black Hole, not NewYorkSpace.com.
But
you had a butt, no, dog. You had a butt replica, and you're not doing. Yes, you did. You got your ass molded, and you had a butt replica, bro.
Don't you remember they had to have the double mold because they had to get both of the cheeks?
Are you saying I'm thick?
Did he do the whole thing, or did he
all right, I'm gonna contribute some actual non-Steve quality type shit to this. But I grew up with a mom that was in corporate America. 35 years. She worked at a bank. I've worked now at a bank for 16 years. But I got to that year 10 and realized, that this was not where I wanted to be. It did my career at that particular company, basically. I ended up having to kind of jump back into and figure out, it's a little bit of a hiatus doing that and working at another industry and then getting back into banking, but doing something that was a little bit different. I don't know why you're laughing, but I get it. I do get what Mike is saying, though, because I also had a mother my mother has never had her own thing going a day in my life. And she sells insurance on the side now, but she's always been in corporate America, and it's basically how I grew up.
Mr. James never talked to you?
Mr. James, always. All I'm saying is
he never talked to you.
All I'm saying is that I get it, I understand it, but I will say that because of my mother being in the corporate world for 35 years, at year 10, I recognized, hey, I don't want to do this for 35 years, but it's okay that I did it for 10. I've learned something. Let me switch to something else, and then 5 years later, I switch to this, and I do this now. And then someday we will literally, all three of us someday quit our jobs and we'll mark the day because we'll celebrate every year like a fucking birthday.
I'm not saying it's not far off, but I'm not saying that it is.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm saying it's when it happens, it happens,
I'm not, from a parent perspective, I don't have kids, so I'm not going to pretend that I can give the best parenting advice, but I think the thing is that
relax. Your last weekend was wild. Relax. Don't speak so fast.
9 months from now, we might be revisiting.
You know what?
I'm not gonna wish that on yourself.
I was gonna say something reckless, but I'll save that for a different podcast.
Yes.
I think the biggest idea is that as parents, you have to give your kids the option, and you have to support that whatever idea that you had for them. It might not be what works for them, because my mom came up from the gutter. My mom don't even have a high school. Sorry, Mom, if this is putting you on blast, but she don't even have a high school diploma. And she runs a nightclub that she just celebrated her 16th anniversary for.
We need to go there, by the way.
So we do.
Yeah, we need to go.
Listen, my mom would love it. But because she went through all the things that she went through to get there, she tried to force me, you need to go to college, you need to get a degree in business, or you need to go to medical school. These are your options. You can be a lawyer if you want to. These are the things that you can do. And so I went to college for a little bit, kind of to appease her and my dad, but it wasn't right for me. And the thing is that now it might be. I'm considering going back to school this year for business, but at the time it wasn't right for me and it wasn't what I needed. So you just have to make sure that your kids are open to the options, because your kids aren't going to grow up how you grew up, and they're not going to have the same experiences and the same challenges, because that's what you're doing as a parent, is making things better for them. And times have changed. My mom didn't have the internet like I have the internet. I learned my entire baking business off of YouTube. I'd never been to a cooking class, not a day in my life. But I've had this whole successful
Jeezy
business.
taught me how to cook.
I thought it was Push.
Both of them. I was going to name everybody that taught me. You got to take more than one class, Mike. Come on now.
I see you.
Keep
Okay,
up.
okay.
And Sam, I will say
It wasn't Joe Budden.
Nah, he never cooked.
He never cooked. He never
Pusha
cooked.
T and Jeezy definitely taught me how to cook. I took a little bit of Gucci Mane classes, but I cook very well, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I know how to wrap a line around the block.
And I will say this to you,
God.
Sam, though. Oh my God. I will say this to you on what you said, though. That's why I went back initially from the beginning and said, sometimes I think you really do have to see if it's for you. And I'm not talking about kids who are failing basket weaving in high school. That's a clear indication that maybe you're not meant to be in a four-year university. But if you're a student who does well, I think it's something that you should maybe try out, because you never. I learned. I got a big slap in the face when I went to college. I realized that I wasn't meant to be a fucking medical doctor. Not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I took a 10-year hiatus from college, learned a different skill set, and now I do well now. And who knows what the hell I'm going to do in the future? Hopefully, I'm going to be chief operating officer of Shifter Vision Media someday and fucking downtown Tampa. Who knows? But the thing is that you can't discount. I mean, I guess the point of this whole show, if we really come down to it, Steve and Mike and Sam, is you can't cut out any option.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. You can't cut out any option, because
you can't cut out any.
Go ahead.
You can't cut out any option, and you can't force your options on anybody else.
True.
And if your kid is not sure if they want to go to college or not, maybe they don't, maybe they haven't figured it out. There's nothing wrong with going to community college to figure it out. It's going to save everybody a hell of a lot of money, and they're still going to get a similar experience. That's what I did. And you can figure out just as well at a community college if college is for you or not.
I agree.
That saves a bunch of money by failing at community college.
Yes,
and
it does.
Do what you got to do. There's a lot of opportunity for experience in the corporate world and in the entrepreneurial world. There's a lot of opportunity to learn and be independent. You just have to have your mind set for that. It depends on who you are.
Right. You can save a bunch of money by doing a lot of things. I switched from Progressive to Geico, and I saved a lot of money doing that.
15 minutes now, because save you 15 minutes.
Like, you can save a lot of money doing many things. Claude?
I thought I was gonna be something way weirder.
I did too.
Oh yeah,
All
right. So Sam, we greatly appreciate you having on. We'll have you on again whenever you want to be on. We'll have you on. Appreciate you coming and giving your insight. Well, it's been very insightful.
Wait, let her promote her shit.
It's gonna be my next thing.
Sorry.
Now you're me. Well, what's going on? We're switching roles today.
You do be cut people off, but I am.
Y'all be role playing?
All of those roles are fat roles.
Y'all be role playing?
Sam, that's right. Do they role play? Sam, ask them that question again. They ain't hear you.
We do role play, and both entendres are met. Jesus, the fat roles and roles as in acting. I wanted y'all to
can't be two bears. Like that's not a thing.
Mike, you be letting Claude shave you.
Yeah,
Nair. That's a different episode.
While he hums Tyrese songs.
Sam, please, before we say anything else ridiculous, please promote yourself, promote your business, put it out there in 120 seconds or less.
So I have a baking business. I make custom cookies, cakes, cupcakes, all of the above. My Instagram handle is @SammyCakesBakes. You can just find me at Sammy Cakes on Facebook. And then personal, I won't add none of y'all on Facebook, but you can add me on Instagram. It's Fuck Politeness, FCK Politeness. And that is for me personally.
And she's gonna be modest, but when I tell y'all, if y'all want some cookies, she'll make you something that's beyond a cookie. It's pretty freaking amazing. So if you're watching this, 100% hit her up if you want some cookies. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, if you're not, well, maybe move here.
You got your mouth came in or something?
What?
His mouth just got came in. Sam, you gave him cookies that came in his mouth.
Well, she gave him some cookies once that did something else, but we won't go there. That was different. That's a different story. That's a different story. Don't look like you weren't there, Mike, also eating those cookies. Sam, thank you. I'm gonna drop you, Sam. We'll tap in with you soon, Sam.
I do.
We'll hit you up. You know what I'm talking about. All right, Sam. Thank you for being here.
Be safe, Sam.
We will try to get me killed. Thank you, sweetheart. Bye.
I can be murdered, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about weed cookies, y'all.
I was in a whole different place.
Weed cookies.
I was in a whole different place.
You stupid.
Hey, salute to all entrepreneurs that showed up. I wish more corporate people showed up.
I guess
I
y'all were.
wish.
We were 3. We showed up for them.
I guess it was 3.
We didn't defend corporate though. We just sat there and was like, good,
No,
like
we
3-0. We got 3-0.
Not at all.
If we was defending corporate, we got 3-0.
And we might have lost, but we
Miss
definitely
Tanya,
defended.
Miss Tanya Norris from TB Wireless and Tech, and Sammy Case came through and 3-0 us.
No, actually, no, that's not true. It was 2. Like Sam said, she preferred corporate.
She did split. She split.
She did split.
You're right,
She said she preferred corporate.
When I hammered her down to the question.
And she's also an entrepreneur that prefers corporate.
What you gonna do?
From the beginning, I prefer corporate, though I work in. No, I'm sorry. I prefer entrepreneurship, though I work in corporate world.
So I think if you had to choose either or,
entrepreneurship, though I work in corporate.
I'm gonna always tell my kids, hey, go get an education first. See if it's for you. If it's not for you, then have a plan to do something else afterwards.
That's cute. Pick one.
For me personally,
it's either or, because it can't. When you start one, you can't do the other. It's like the gun to your head. Pick one.
So I got to start one, and I can't quit it.
Yeah, if you like the
I can't be in
your
corporate forever.
You ever played a role, like a video game where you pick a role and that's your shit?
Yeah,
pick one: corporate or entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Who are you rolling with, Mike?
I'm definitely an entrepreneur. 100%.
And
corporate world keep you with some insurance and shit.
And Mike likes to give you scenarios in a vacuum, but at the end of the day, we're both in the corporate world. But please know, y'all, and I hope our employers aren't listening. And this is just for me. The views and opinions of Claude are not that of Mike Lake. I am Mike Lake or Steve Cash. But someday I will be quitting my job, and I have literally put this out there before. My boss already knows I own a podcast studio, and I work with a corporation that does podcasts.
You want to make money off your mouth?
I want to make.
Say it like that.
You want to make say I want to make money.
We want to
off
make money off our mouth.
You want to make money off your beard and mouth area.
Now we pod grid.
Why you
That's what I'm saying. No,
I'm
not doing this.
You want to make money off your beard and mouth area.
Why are you so homophobic?
Can we go on to? Are we ready? Because I've been told that I can't just go to the next segment.
Go ahead, young Glizzy guy.
Let's ride that, y'all. I know it's getting late, y'all. It is time. Fantastic shot. Whoa, it just got green. And y'all familiar with the Mariah Carey had a song called Obsessed back in the day? Are you so obsessed with me?
I remember. Keep singing. How we go?
How we go? So obsessed with me. Got a lyric in there.
Nah, keep going. I never heard it. Keep going. I'm trying to catch
Why you stop?
Keep going.
Why you stop?
I always try to give you the same. One day I'll give you a full song.
Bro, we was about that
song. Mariah Carey, there's a lyric in that song called "You are mom and pop, I'm a corporation." So I made a very Mariah Carey / corporation influenced shot. The shot is 1 ounce proper Irish whiskey from your boy McGregor. I was gonna just get Jameson, but I was like, you know what? I don't like him, but I'll support him today. Why not? Fuck him. I'll buy his. Fuck it. I'll just
also,
buy.
who's Jameson? What did he do?
I don't know Jameson either.
He never knocked nobody out with a quick left.
Right. That's Jameson.
Oh, Jameson.
1 ounce. 1 ounce.
Yeah, that nigga's eating W's.
Proper.
L's disguised as W's.
1 ounce of proper Irish whiskey, and half an ounce of Amaretto, half an ounce of Amarula. That's African cream liqueur. So Mariah Carey's half Irish, half African. Put it together, and we have what's called a corporate obsession.
Is that true?
She is.
I never knew that.
She is.
It's called corporate
obsession.
Corporate obsession. To the entrepreneurs,
and
to everyone else that called into a salute to you.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. You can find this shot recipe on our IG at _pour_up. It's in the highlights. What? Why are you laughing?
That's so stupid.
Why? You made it.
No, it ain't got to do with it. Go ahead.
Y'all lit.
No.
Especially him.
Let's take this.
What I was gonna say is, what if I threw the shot over my shoulder on camera? Would Claude be
onto the guitar?
Shit on my
Jesus
shoulder.
Christ!
I'm really drinking though.
It's called a corporate obsession, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on. I can't even take
the shot. But that is stupid, bro. I'm trying to take it, but I'm laughing because he's like this.
Oh my god,
this goes back to our childhood. That was just some dumb shit.
I can't. I'm trying to take a shot, but I can't if he's that stupid.
While we drink, hold on, let me gather myself. We used to prank each other, like light heart kid pranks.
I'm taking my shot, by the way.
Take a shot. I'll bring Steve something to drink, but I'm gonna pepper it up. Nothing that's gonna like
Black Russian roulette.
Nothing that's gonna fuck with him. But you know what I'm saying? Just a little pepper, just to see if he notices it. Little kid pranks and shit.
Sweet with a little kick to it, right? Like Mariah Carey.
I don't know how Mariah is, to be honest.
Well,
she might be
trash
trash.
next time we see him.
Well, he also left her.
Did she leave it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I just know they ain't together. They ain't booty cheeks.
So guys, that is a corporate obsession. It is 1 ounce of
that was a little
proper
spicy.
12. Yeah, proper 12 Irish whiskey, or you can do whatever Irish whiskey you want to. African liqueur. I used Amaria and half an ounce of amaretto.
Not bad, Claude. That was decent.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was decent.
Nice little.
I still did he? I don't know. All right, guys, let's get the last call.
Let's call for alcohol.
Michael Buffer? What the
I don't
fuck?
know who that is.
What the fuck was that? What Biggie song is that from? Because I tried to look it up and couldn't find it. I found a Kanye song called a Cold Song and a Logic song. No Biggie. Although I've heard other people reference it, and I couldn't remember the actual fucking song.
I don't know right now at the top.
Last call for alcohol. I thought it was something with.
Y'all tell us.
What was the group he was with? Was Junior Mafia.
Junior
I thought it
Mafia.
was something that they did, like a
Let's see
feature.
if Junior Mafia did something.
Junior Mafia, Kim, and Biggie. I think that's the song. But neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Am I starting the last?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I'm talking.
Yeah.
As
always.
What was our next week's show going to be?
I will introduce that.
Oh, so
it's mine. It's my
Oh, you own it because you mixed it.
We switch off until Steve. Yeah, that's Steve has an idea.
So every time you get drunk, your wrist be getting limp and loose. Why you get loose wrists when you get drunk?
What if I just threw a bunch of Steve?
He grew into an Irish boxer.
That McGregor. We both lefties. We both lefties.
Yes. We'll let y'all.
I don't know what my last call would be.
No, y'all lit.
I don't even think I'm medium lit, but I've been up since 2 a.m. I'm tired, man. I'll say this.
He's gonna hibernate later.
Go ahead, man.
These are pretty good.
Last call should literally be us trying to get off our point by
but when
clowning.
people roasting, you
That'd be
gotta do it while
hilarious.
niggas is roasting.
Yeah.
But it's only you roasting. You're the only one that's doing it.
Yeah, I don't have to return the shots. 'Cause I know what it is. My last call is going to be based on the show. Corporate versus entrepreneur. I got a hand in both worlds, and I might have made some steps forward in one of those two worlds. Actually, both of those worlds. Shout out to me. I'm an entrepreneur and a corporate gentleman, but we all are. But mine's is different. No, I'm playing. but at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you. I started out in corporate. I learned a lot, as a lot of our guests said, and where we land now, I got a foot in both, but eventually. You'll know the transition because when I show up like a pastor on Easter Sunday, yeah, I'm out here.
Salt and pepper just turns into pepper.
Oh, yo, bro, I found a gray in my eyelash. That was nuts. I'm stressed, man. Shit's stressful.
Steve.
Being an entrepreneur is stressful.
Steve.
Last call. I definitely appreciate everyone that called in, from homies to new friends that I have met on this show.
Yeah.
Tonight, and everything was just great. I really enjoyed tonight's episode. My last call, I guess, just be safe. That's pretty much what I got. Like, be safe out here. And as far as entrepreneurship versus corporate world, do what works best for you and your family. Utilize your corporate job to and put money into your dreams on what you really want to do at the end. I mean, that's honestly what I do, and we all are entrepreneurs in corporate. You know what I'm saying? I do things on the side to generate other money, not as lucrative as my corporate job, but until we all have dreams. So
that dick is whack, huh?
You know what I'm saying? These days, I'm a little bit older. My penis isn't up to par as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? It could definitely do a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? I did hear about something called Blue Chews. I was thinking about trying out. So salute the Blue Chews. Yeah. Well, I can't salute them yet. I haven't tried it.
Sponsorship.
No homo.
I haven't tried it yet.
No homo. I saw the promo. I would join you in trying it, like the free trial. But not like with each other. Like
we
should all get a free trial of Blue Chews.
I don't want to sit around with a.
No,
I want to.
We take it before the podcast.
I don't want to sit around a bunch of men with a hard penis.
No, take it with your lady, bro. Take it where you do.
Because honestly, I personally think having a hard penis and podcasting would be a hard man to stop. Like during the time, like I don't know what's going to happen after.
What was the other hard man? The upset white man.
He doesn't even have a boom mic. He just sticks his mic on his dick. Just sits right there.
That's a terrible fantasy. I don't know why.
And you want to speak in it.
What are you doing?
You're wild.
What are you doing?
I didn't even say that.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm lit. Is it my turn?
Let's see. No, Steve was talking.
So So anyway, overall, do what works best for you, and best of luck to everyone. We all out here fighting. We all out here chasing dreams and things of that nature. Steve, Cash Money Bags.
So I say this every episode or every chance I get the chat, every chance I get to say it. My mom always said there is no right or wrong way to do something. There's an easier way and a harder way. And life is not about making good or bad decisions or right or wrong decisions. It's about making the decisions that are right for you. And there are things in this life that are easier to do or harder to do. You just got to figure out what that is for you. College might be it. Not going to college and getting a 9-to-5 or doing your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill Gates built his empire in a garage, just like another small production company has been doing. And if you have the will and the way, it can happen. We have dreams, and those dreams can't come true if you just put the work into it and the sacrifice and do what you got to do. So go to college, don't go to college. Get a trade, don't get a trade. Just make sure you're doing intentional, purposeful things that are going to affect your life in a way that's going to make a difference in the future. 100%. Before we do sign off, I just want to say next week we are going to have a very interesting topic. Steve don't even know this yet. We're going to talk about Dr. Umar and interracial relationships. I think it's going to be not controversial, but I think it'll be fun. We want you to participate. I'm going to put out the word early, so be looking for me to put out the word to get y'all to join in on the conversation, maybe Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be great. Again, we appreciate 100% all of the likes, all of the followers. I mean, I think we've had 500 followers over the last week. Follow us just on some strength shit, and we 100% appreciate it. Best thing y'all can do for us is just share this shit.
Hit the share button.
Share the share button.
The best thing they can do for me. Best thing for me.
What can they do
for me? They can hit my cash app.
Hit his cash app.
That's the best thing.
Everybody that we have 1,400 followers right now. Y'all send each $1.
Stop shaking. People are noticing the table being moved because you keep moving your thighs. You fucking thigh.
I can't give it up. All right, that's what I'm just saying.
Thailander.
We appreciate all of you.
You practice more.
like that.
You practice more thigh. You practice more thigh.
More thigh.
Any day, y'all. We appreciate our followers. We appreciate people who share.
You're not going to know those thigh. He called you Thailander. And
all them thighs just moving the table.
I'm just gonna start it off. Who are you, Mike?
I am Mike Lake, aka Hillsboro Slim, aka Salt and Pepper Beer, and I had a little salt in my eyelash, and I'm mad about it.
And yo, I'm knocking at the door, even though ain't nobody there listening. But I am CP34.
The yo.
Steve Cash Money Bags, aka the Fitness Eddie, aka the Van Party. Tell stories about me and believe everything they tell you about me around that campfire. And definitely, when it's all good, you got to salute to every Mr. James in every hood. And we're gonna get Mr. James on one day to talk to you, Claude, because I know he talked. I
just realized that you're drinking those 99s over there. Let's get out of here.
You know what I'm saying? Because I drink these 99s before I say one. Because I'm out.
Because you got one.
No, because I keep it 100.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, it's the 4 Up Podcast. We are officially out. We'll see y'all next week. We'll see y'all Saturday. Don't forget,
maybe
Cam That Dude, Cam That Dude formerly from 194.1 and somewhere in Gainesville, bumfuck. We'll be talking about an interesting topic. We'll see y'all on Saturday or next Thursday. Bye-bye.
That's funny.
Let's do this.
We pound great.